welcome to another Team Clues Battle Report. I've got John here with me today.
Whoa.
And we are playing a Zone Mortalis type game. Forgeworld doesn't actually have rules for Zone Mortalis at the minute, so I've made my own as usual. So, what are we doing today? We are doing a mission called Derelict. The story of the mission is the two Space Marine chapters, the Ultramarines, as you can clearly see down here, and the Salamanders, as you can clearly see by their colour scheme. Let's just move him out the way, he's not supposed to be there. Clearly see their Salamanders by their red colour scheme. Have decided to join forces to go onto this derelict Space Hulk and kill the Genestealers that are no doubt infested there because every Space Hulk has Genestealers on. Unfortunately, what they didn't take into account was there are weird psychic crystals, which will be these things throughout the game, scattered throughout the ship, which have meddled with their minds and made them hyper-aggressive, and they are now fighting each other. So the Space Marines are out for blood of each other. Also around the ship there are various other things they can find. As you can see scattered on the board there are blips, little cardboard tokens from the old Space Crusade. They look like that. When a model from any of our units gets within 6 inches and line of sight of one of those, we get to roll on a little table and see what it is our scanners have picked up. It can be various things, it can be nothing. 1 in 6 chance of that. It can be a booby trap, that'd be bad. It could be a psychic crystal. There are 2 chances of it being a little psychic crystal, in which case you put one of those on the board and it can be attacked, which I'll get to in a minute. Or it could be some Genestealers. So there's chances of getting either D3 Genestealers, D6 Genestealers, or once again it's been going a bit and we've rolled a few sets of Genestealers, there's a chance the Patriarch could turn up or the Magus could turn up. Which will be bad for us, but good if we kill them because we get victory points. The psychic crystals, so rules for those. When they appear, you can attempt to destroy them. They're toughness 5 or 4 up save, and they only got 1 wound, so pretty easy to kill. They're crystal after all. But every time you kill one, you put it off to the side of the board, and you have to choose a model in the unit that killed one to check. So it has to roll a dice. And if it rolls more on the dice than its leadership minus the number of crystals which have been destroyed so far in the game, then if it rolls under that, it turns into a demon prince. He's the guy who has been altering their minds and causing them to go hyper-aggressive. Once the demon prince is then summoned, it can be killed for victory points as well. Other rules, we're playing Zone Mortalis. The rules for Zone Mortalis, there are doors that can be opened and closed if you're close to them, or you can shoot through them or pound through them with your fist if you like. There are blast weapon rules, so all blast weapons and template weapons that used to be, so anything that rolls a random number of hits can re-roll its number of hits. Other things, Overwatch is slightly better, you hit on a 5+ instead of a 6+. And movement and deep striking is slightly more dangerous, but not hugely so. So that is all the rules to the game. I'll just quickly say how you get victory points. So victory points are scored for every unit we kill in the opposition army. So every red unit that John kills and blue unit that I kill, we get a point. If we kill the Genestealer Magus, we get a point. If we kill the Patriarch, we get 2 points. And if we kill the Demon Prince, if he is summoned, we get 3 points. And lastly, you get a point for every crystal you destroy. So it's worth seeking them out to destroy them, but it is dangerous because you might turn into a Demon Prince. But if you do, it will be in your line, so you can just turn around and thump it with your Thunder Hammers, which you've both got. That is the mission. Hope it all made kind of sense. Okay, so we're playing a 60 power level game today. I am bringing the red Salamanders. They're the alternate colour scheme that Vulcan's personal guard like to wear. So I am bringing Vulcan. He is my warlord, because you can't really bring him and not choose him as your warlord. He is backed up by a librarian who has Smite and the one that makes you charge better and Null Zone. He's got a Force Axe and a Storm Shield. I have 5 Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators, a Contemptor Dreadnought with the Assault Cannon. These ones here, who are the old little beaky Marines, 2 Heavy Flamers, a Power Fist on the Sergeant, they are Stern Guard. Then I have 2 squads of Tactical Marines, 1 outfitted with Melters and a Power Fist, 1 outfitted with Flamers and a Power Fist, and then we have a Scout Squad with close combat weapons, a Heavy Bolter and a Power Fist on the Sarge. So all the Power Fists.
Oh, it's very shiny, ladies, gentlemen. This is the Ultramarines in the sun, which is now shaded by Michael. I've gone full Space Hulk. I've got 3 Terminator squads, one of which is Assault Terminators. One's Attack Terminator squad with 2 Chain Fists and Cyclone. Another Attack Term squad with 2 Chain Fists and Assault Cannon. Warlord today is Random Captain Doofus. Yeah, that's his name.
Doofus, Genestealer Hunter.
Oh, what's he got? Storm Shield Relic Blade. And then a Thyker. He's got a Force Stave and Storm Shield, which is a compact design, as you can see there.
Nice, a Storm Buckler.
Yeah, Storm Buckler. He's rocking, obviously, Smite. The other Smite, I think it's called Scourge. Scourge, the D3 one. And my favourite is the shieldy effect thing. 4+ against mortal wounds from psychic powers. I love that. I can't remember what it's called.
Actually, pretty useful on this because there's loads of ways of extra mortal wounds going off. So
I had a feeling. You love your mortal wounds and dishing them out. And some intercessors, which are new. They're very incesty.
Oh, those plasma guns are going to eat me up.
I hope so. But yeah, there you go. I mean, it's a Space Hulk force, and we got a bit of a Tyrannid theme going on. Just a shout out, I've got to say, just a shout out to all my nidders out there who are getting their codex shortly. I look forward to facing them with the first company. Anyway, there are the armies.
Okay, you join us after setup. John has set up line abreast. Lots of Terminators there, and he's got his Hell Blasters in the middle there. I have got my Dreadnought this side, because there's only limited ways he can manoeuvre through the Zone Mortalis, so he's going to go down there and kill some Terminators. Then I've got my Stern Guard next to him, and then Vulcan and the 2 tactical squads, and the Scouts have infiltrated forward slightly to there. Well, I have left my Terminators in reserve to deep strike in. It's a little bit dangerous because they could lose some bodies doing so, but it might give me the advantage I may need. Now we're going to see which of us is going to take first turn. John has +1.
Oh no, that was my roll.
Oh, I got a 4.
Oh no.
Oh, it's a cock dice. Building 10. Ah, John is going first. Let's see if he can get killed by Genestealers then.
Highly likely.
Okay, so it's the end of battle round 1. We thought because the turns are quite short, we will do a summary at the end of the 2 turns. So, John, what did you do on your exciting turn?
I moved up the whole force.
Yep, so everything marched forward a bit.
Just trying. I could have and should have really advanced, but I didn't.
You were a bit more cautious than I was, which may actually be a good plan.
Possibly.
As my turn didn't go that well.
It wasn't the worst, though, was it? Let's face it.
No.
What did I do? I got in visual range of 2 blips. One was here that the Hellblaster saw, and that was a Chaos Crystal.
Which you have destroyed, but managed to not succumb.
Yeah, I got lucky with it. Well, this is the first one. As you said, you can't really fail that one. Second one over here, that Dave, the Terminator, could see, happened to be a booby trap.
Yep.
So he took a mortal wound in the face.
Dave has been hit in the face by some kind of booby trap set up on this ancient Space Hulk relic.
Old shotgun, I think.
Yeah, probably, a little tripwire, standard thing.
And then that was pretty much it. That's what I've done.
And you've got Psychic Fortress up over here, which
Psychic Fortress
could have been coming to play, but it didn't quite.
No.
So on my turn, I sprinted forwards over here. My units not being in Terminator armour a little bit quicker. These ones couldn't quite get in range over there, so they are hiding. These guys, with Vulcan backing them up, went round this corner. There was a blip there. It was another shotgun with a tripwire, which went off in Johnny's face and blew him away. So I'm a Marine down there. Over here, the Dreadnought advanced into this little kind of like crossroads area, and there were 3 blips stationed all around him. 2 of them came up a 1 on the what is it dice, and meant it was just a false reading on his motion tracker. I reckon something was in the walls, possibly.
Yeah.
And over here, there was a Chaos Crystal. The Stern Guard moved up and took out the Chaos Crystal, but one of them very nearly succumbed to Chaos. And then what else did we have? The Scouts. Oh yes, and I came in there. The Scouts came up here. They again found a blip on their motion tracker, but it proved to be nothing up the side here. I deep struck in with my Terminators and my Librarian there. They uncovered this blip behind them, which turned out to be a Chaos Crystal, but I haven't gone back to try and thump it because it was... I didn't really want to retreat backwards. I want to be able to get in John's face next turn. And that was the turn done. There's a door here, just in case you can't see them from up above. One thing I may have forgot to mention in the initial rules, so I'll quickly mention it now while I remember. All distances in the Zone Mortalis, so for auras, psychic powers, everything, you have to measure around the walls and such. So if you've got, kind of like, if we go here, if Vulcan's here, and I had a dude over here, for instance... you can't measure straight across. You have to go round to see if they're in range of his auras and such. It's just because otherwise auras become a bit too good in an area like this. You can aura through a wall, but you can actually be about half hour away from them. Okay, that is turn 1 done. You join us at the end of Battle Round 2. So, John, what happened on your turn?
A bit more movement. A lot more blips uncovered.
Yep.
So this Terminator squad moved forward and they had visual on 3 blips.
Yep.
Of which one was a booby trap.
One was a booby trap shocker, one was blank.
One was blank again, and I can't remember. And the other one.
Oh, the other one was a crystal, wasn't it? Did you kill the crystal? Oh yeah, you thumped it in close combat.
Yes, I did. I charged.
Yep.
I charged an inanimate object. I also tried to shoot the door. I cast smite on it.
Yep.
And got 2
Nearly
wounds on
took it down.
And then in the shoot phase, I decided that 1 stormbolter from the sergeant was more than enough to take down the door, and the rest.
Doors are toughness 8, by the way.
Yeah, that didn't happen. 2 hits, 0 wounds, so the door was still intact.
Whereas on my Dreadnought's turn, he moved up to the door and pressed the little open button beside it, and then shot you.
Yeah, in the
But
face.
didn't do much. And then we had a bit of a combat here, didn't we? I've killed one of you, you've dealt me a couple of wounds. Bit of a slapfest.
That was your first combat, wasn't it?
That was, yeah.
Because you got 2 charges.
I did. What happened on the other side of the board?
A bit more movement. I redirected the hammer terminators just in case you decided to come around this way.
Yeah, that's why I came round the front, because the hammers scare me.
I kind of figured you were going around that way anyway.
Yep.
Regardless. That was it. Did I get some
you
I got a few
took
shots.
out one of these dice, I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your sub cannon and the storm bolters.
That's it. And then I moved my librarian around and counter-charged into you. But you used the stratagem to hit first.
I did.
And took out 2 of my hammer dudes.
I had to do that.
Yep. And unfortunately, it was a bit of, again, not a particularly good combat here. We each killed 2 of each other's units. I feel I should have done better there because I've got storm bloody shields, but no.
It's luck of the dice,
Yep.
especially my dice, which are cursed.
What else happened?
When did the Genestealers pop up?
Oh yeah, I moved here and 1 Genestealer popped up here, and you made 3 Genestealers pop up here, but you're in your, what are those things?
Hellblasters.
Hellblasters happily took care of them with their rapid fire and plasma, and my librarian smited the one he uncovered. Over here, the scouts moved forward and shot the Chaos Crystal, but the demonic entity that is warping their mind from within took hold in this little scout here. I think you can still tell how close he came to being destroyed. If it'll focus on his face... Oh yeah, his eyes are still bulging out of his head. He failed the initial leadership roll, so I burnt a command point to re-roll it. I needed to roll a 3 or less, but I managed to do so. Thus the demon was quelled down and may erupt from somebody else later on. Other than that, Vulcans moved up over here, and the Stern Guard are waiting to pop out and kill a load of evil Space Marines over there.
Evil Space Marines?
Yep. And that is the end of the turn, I think. Oh, we've instituted a new rule because we were rolling so many blanks and booby traps. At the end of each player turn, we randomly roll up a tile of the Zone Mortalis and put a new blip down. So a new blip has appeared back there behind John, and 1 has appeared back here behind me as well.
Which is 11 and 10 respectively.
That's it. So we will see if they contain Chaos Crystals, which are just erupting out of the floor, or Genestealers hiding underneath the floor, or more likely, in our case, it'll be more booby traps.
Yay.
Let's see.
Nothing.
So it's the end of Battle Round 3, and this was a pretty eventful one, actually. What happened in your turns, John?
Stuff went down.
It certainly did.
These Bloodmanders went They're like Spartans here.
Aren't they just? And this guy... Oh no, this guy's not like a Spartan. Your guys are like fucking librarians and not the good kind.
Not a lot happened. These guys disengaged, I think, from the last turn.
They did. They walked backwards and
they
you
just walked back and
piled in with your Terminators, didn't you? But my Storm Shield saves were pretty hot.
Yeah, bloody hot.
Yeah.
Everything else moved up. Tried to do some damage. I think I maybe squished one from the
Yeah, I mean, because you got your Hellblasters there. They're pretty good versus me, but my Storm Shields just held up to everything.
Couldn't believe it. So they did that. They're still in combat. Librarian moved up.
I'm pretty fucked over here. I'm on 3 wounds left.
I crumpled your...
But you're down to 2.
Little raisin corpse inside with a smite and a scourge.
Oh, it's your bloody turn now. You're going to kill him with Cyber.
Hopefully.
That scourge is really good with the Ultramarines getting the +1 leadership. Really useful.
Be pretty good. But that's it. You've completely... I'm at a halt.
Yeah, that's it. I'm holding you of those 2 units. So on my turn, what do we do? These guys... Because I couldn't get any more through this gap here, I moved up my Flamer squad here with Vulcan. Unfortunately, he's behind them, a bit trapped in. Moved up the Flamer squad. They managed to fire over and took out a single Hellblaster. but couldn't join in the combat. The Librarian cast Null Zone and hid round the side here, projecting it onto the Thunderhammer Storm Shield squad of John's. But even with the Null Zone, he gets a 5-up armour save versus my Thunderhammers and rolled pretty hot and only killed one of them. These guys moved over here thinking that fight's out of the way, so they go over here, see if they can rack up some victory points. They uncovered one blip behind the door. It was nothing, shocker. Then they blew open this door with their melter guns and have uncovered 5 Genestealers from the 2 blips that were in there. That's not so clever, because it's the Genestealers' turn next. Oh, we'll have to do a video after the Genestealers' turn, because I forgot about them. They take the 3rd player turn, if there's any Genestealers and Demon Princes and stuff on the board. I randomly added another blip to the board, which is here, because we wanted to make this central bit Genestealer central. The blip that appeared back here on John's turn, the Stern Guard ran round to investigate. They found 5 Genestealers and a Broodlord from a single blip. They managed to melt the Genestealers with their Prometheum-charged flamers, and then charged in, hoping to bring down the Broodlord. They did him a fair number of wounds, but then he cut 3 of them to pieces in his fight back, and as it's the Genestealer turn next, they're in trouble. Okay, that is the end of that. We'll come back with a quick Genestealer video in a moment. Oh, and victory points whilst we remember. I'm on 2, John is on 2. Both gained from Chaos Crystals. None of our units have been killed yet, so we may gain victory points from that. Close. So we're back for the quick Genestealer's turn. When there are any enemies on the board that aren't controlled by John or I, they take a 3rd player turn in each battle round. So what happened here? The Broodlord here just massacred the people in close combat with him, just tore them limb from limb. And over here, the Genestealers charged forwards. I did a really good Overwatch shooting, but you dodged them all, and they got into combat, and they eviscerated my 3 Space Marines. So the Genestealers are now weirdly on 2 victory points. They are drawing with John and I at the minute. Oh, if they win, we're going to resign.
Yeah, the board wins.
Yep. Okay, next up, turn 4. So it's the end of turn 4 now. So what happened now, John?
Oh my God.
Loads of stuff.
This was an intense turn. Movement for me consisted of not a lot. I shuffled around a bit just to get like a sight on the Librarian that was around here. Hellblasters moved up so they could get line of sight.
They took out my tactical squad, didn't they?
Pretty
One
much,
volley, pretty deadly.
So that got me a victory point there from taking out the combat squad. Absolutely did nothing to the Librarian.
Nope. You shot at him, didn't you, with your storm bolts and stuff?
As much as I could, but nothing got through.
But close combat was a different story versus my 2 Storm Shield guys who were there.
So I had to choose that one over the other combat that was been going on, and I got real lucky.
Punked both my guys, didn't you?
Out completely.
2 attacks, I failed both my Storm Shields. I used my last reroll, but just couldn't do it. So then you advanced through there, and on my turn, I had a bit of a choice, mate. I thought, oh, there's victory points there. I cast Null Zone again from my Libby, so they didn't really have their best saves, but I didn't have a whole lot nearby. John had made a blip appear back here, so my scouts ran back there, hoping to find another Chaos Crystal and get me a VP for that. And the Libby and the Vulcan separated out, and I left John's Terminators there, covered by my Null Zone, because the Genestealers on their go automatically charge the closest enemy model, so they charged in and butchered John's Terminators.
Sneaky.
Unfortunately, that didn't give me a victory point. But it was okay, I thought, because over here, you'll notice the Dreadnought is missing, and the Librarian are missing, and the Broodlord is still alive. This was not how we planned it. So my Dreadnought managed to survive all the attacks from John, and thumped back and killed his Terminator squad finally. He then backed up against the wall, turned both his guns on the Patriarch, which was hiding down behind this crate down here, thinking, easy kill, it only had 2 wounds left. I rolled shockingly on my wound rolls and only got 1 wound through, leaving it on 1 wound. I then charged into John's Libby, thinking, easily squash him. No, the Storm Shield deflected on my fist, and then he punked me with his bloody Force Staff. So, Dreadnought is in the kill pile. But then when it came to the Genestealer player's turn, that Patriarch there ran forward and smited John's Librarian to death.
Consolidated back.
Yeah, John was running away, but unfortunately the Patriarch just blew him away. So we're recording the Genestealer victory points just for fun. They are beating me. They are on 4 victory points. I am on 3 victory points, but John is leading with 5 victory points because he killed my Terminators there and got my Dreadnought over there that turn. Okay, let's move on and see what happens now. End of battle round 5. What happened here, John?
I don't even know. So much happened. I don't even know where stuff was.
Your Terminators were here.
They were here, right?
Yep, where that blip is, strangely.
They decided they're going to have a little waddle around here, so they got in here. The assault cannon was the only one that could really get any line of sight. He opened up and took out three of
my 5 scouts, which is a bit annoying.
Tasty. I decided to strategically retreat, you see.
Yeah, there were a couple of blips to go for, weren't there?
There was one here, and there was another one around here somewhere.
Yep.
So the Hellblasters unveiled that, and it was...
That was a Chaos Crystal.
And this one was a bloody booby trap.
Yep, so your captain has taken a mortal wound. You blew up the crystal and nearly succumbed to Chaos. One more on his dice roll and he would have succumbed.
But no, I got lucky there.
So that was your turn. On my turn, I was umming and ahhing on whether using the Genestealers to attack the Terminators, but I decided no. So Vulcan sprinted around the corner, heavy flamed them from his Gauntlet of the Forge, took out all of them, which was pretty nice, but not as nice as the Librarian. Reached out with his psychic might, rolled an 11 on smite, and then a 6 on the damage, and wiped out all 3 of John's Terminators in one conflagration of psychic power.
Brain fart.
Over here, the scouts rounded the corner to find the blip that was hiding around the back here. Turned out it was a Genestealer Magus. So the sergeant went in there and power fisted him in the face twice and took him out. So that was a victory point for me. So I scored 2 that turn, which put me on 5 and put John on. He was also on... You were on 6, weren't you? Because you got the crystal. Yeah. Then the Genestealer turn. There was only the Genestealer Patriarch left. It sprinted round the corner and was in charge range of John's Hellblasters. It made a valiant charge in, but the Overwatch fire just whittled him down and blew him apart. 2 victory points for John, putting him on 8. The game ends when one of us is completely wiped out, so we will continue on for a little bit longer.
Oh my.
Okay, so it's the end of turn 6. Let's see what happened during these turns.
God.
I'm struggling to find any of John's models over here. There is one, though. There is one. There's one here.
There were 3 more.
There was. What did your dudes do, John?
I didn't really do anything, I don't think. Well, I moved my Hellblasters to get a line of fire.
That's it. You fired at him, but my mantle of the Salamander.
He was over there.
Seemed pretty sweet and resisted all of your shots.
I did a single wound, I think.
Yeah, I've taken 1. And your captain dealt with 3 Genestealers.
Woo!
But no victory points in killing basic Genestealers.
There was 2 blips, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There was one here, which was absolutely nothing.
Nothing, nada. And that was 3 Stealers.
And that's all I did.
Yep, you put a blip down over here, though.
I did.
And then on my turn, as we'll get to, I put another blip down here because I need to get some more victory points. So on my turn, Vulcan moved forward, flamed the Incessors, didn't do a whole lot, but then just rammed his spear through the rest of them, killing them. My Libby moved up, attempted to engage the captain and the Stealer, but failed his charge. And did I get my smite off? Yes, I smited and killed a couple of the Incessors.
Yes, you did.
Hellblasters. Can't get the names of these new Primaris, and that's what let Vulcan kill them. The scouts went sprinting. These guys are coming around here to get to here to hopefully find some Chaos Crystals and destroy them, because the game ends when one of us has no models left on the board. I have 4 models, my scouts, my Libby and Vulcan, but John only has the 1. But John is on 8 victory points and I am on 6. So if I kill John's remaining model over there without getting any more victory points elsewhere, John will still win the game. So I've got to, on my turn, next turn, uncover one of these and hope it's a Chaos Crystal, else I could be in trouble. And if John kills my Libby in close combat or Vulcan in close combat, I'm also in trouble.
Are there still the rules of if you leave the table...
You can't voluntarily leave the table. No, I'm just going to quickly write it in now. What did the Genestealers do? The Genestealers just died in combat to John's captain. Let's see if we can find any more this turn. It is the end of turn 7. This could have gone better for me, to be honest. John, what did you do to my poor librarian? It was something unpronounceable, I think.
I can't remember. No, what I did, I had a move. I had a charge, because I had no shooting or psychic.
Yep.
And I kicked him in the face.
You just butchered him in one round, didn't you? I didn't even hit back.
Dead.
Butchered, librarian, storm shield, full wounds, Terminator armour, nothing.
Not a sausage. Consolidated towards Vulcan.
That's it, Vulcan.
To lure him.
Couldn't turn the challenge down, so Vulcan charged in, fluffed his attacks a bit, did you 1 wound. You did me 3 back. So Vulcan has 1 wound left, John's captain has 4 wounds left, so John's captain has the better of it there. Over here, the scouts made a beeline. I need to find some Chaos Crystals to get me some VPs. There were 2 blips right here. The scouts came around the corner. One was nothing, a false reading, and the other was a Genestealer who they promptly killed. So now the scouts have got to run along here and get to this blip. Oh, I've got a blip to place.
Yes, you do.
Oh, so this is how we place a blip. We roll a d20.
9.
And then we count the squares. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I get to place a blip here. It has to be.
You're going to do a double again.
Yeah, I'm going to be a double again. I'm going to put it there. It has to be not within 6 inches and not within line of sight if it is within 6 inches. Okay, so they are both there. I mean, I can double up again if I can get to them. Over to John for his next turn. Battle round 8, not the most exciting one. What happened? We basically slapped each other over here, didn't we, John?
Yep.
You're down to 1 wound. I'm on 1 wound. I passed 8 invulnerable saves this turn, which was pretty useful. And I didn't kill John, which is also useful because these guys did not run very fast. But due to the new blips arriving on the board, there is a cluster over here. So I need, if I can get there next turn, it's still quite a distance. If I can get there and turn a couple of them into Chaos Crystals, kill John's captain, I might still get this. Let's see what happens. It's battle round 9. These battle rounds are taking maybe a minute. So what happened here? John punked Vulcan and is now free to roam, giving John another VP, putting him on 10. I am up to 7 though, because my scouts, even though they advanced 1 inch again, second turn in a row, managed to get within range of unveiling 2 of the blips, and both were Chaos Crystals, just what I needed. I managed to then charge in. My sergeant punked the first Chaos Crystal with his Power Fist and managed, he needed to roll over a 2 on a d6, else he would turn into the Demon Prince as the power of the warp overwhelmed him, and I rolled a 2, so he was fine. The other Marine, who would actually automatically turn into a Chaos Prince at this point, failed to kill his, which was pretty useful, so I might be able to back away, kill it next turn. But what we haven't done is, I'm now within range of this blip with my charge, so we need to see what it's going to be. So we roll a dice. It's another Chaos Crystal! Oh, this could be it. This could be enough VPs for me. Okay, let's see what happens on turn 10. It is end of battle round 10 and the game is over. What happened with your captain, John?
I walked forward.
He walked forwards. Good job there.
Within 10, that was it.
I had 2 Chaos Crystals here. I fired simultaneously at them both. My heavy bolter blew one of them to pieces and the Scout Marine erupted outwards into the Demon Prince. The Sergeant killed the other Chaos Crystal. That gives me 2 more victory points. Then, unfortunately, the Sergeant was 2 inches away from the Demon Prince, so decided discretion was not the better part of valour. Valour is the better part of valour. He charged in, punched it in the nose, dealing it a wound, and then it ripped him into shreds. Being my last model, that is game over, and we go over to the victory points. John is on 10. The Genestealers, weirdly, are on 4.
Yeah.
I only got up to 9, so victory to John, and he has 1 model left. Woo! Who I suspect is going to walk that way and leave the Demon Prince.
He's going home now.
B. Okay. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was great fun.
That was crazy. After whatever it was, turn 4. After that sort of...
It was the bottlenecks, wasn't it? Over here, the Dreadnought and the Terminators and the Terminators and Terminators. Then we just...
And then, as soon as I split through there and you split through there...
It just turned into a fucking shitstorm, didn't it? We were finding blips everywhere. We were dying. We were killing Genestealers left, right and centre.
Really good.
Really good. Well, that's one of the best games I've played on the Zone Mortalis. I think all the extra little bits of terrain we've got on, the doors help. And the use of the blips, I think, gave it a real Space Hulk feeling.
It was a nice random element as well.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that they, could range from anything, which we know of nothing.
Yeah, nothing, which was the main thing that we found.
Or a friggin' Patriarch.
Yeah.
So, and that's a VP system as well. And that was actually really good.
That was, because that was quite tense. A couple of times I rolled on a 3+ and passed, you rolled on a 4+, and it was all touch and go whether he had turned up. Because it's kind of like you want him to turn up to kill him because he's worth the most victory points.
But you kind of want him to turn up in the enemy line, sort of, but still close enough.
So I quite like that he turned up and finished the game. He erupted out and just eviscerated my poor guys.
Quite a fitting end, but there's not a lot left.
Not a lot left. 1 model and 1 enemy model. That was excellent. Thank you very much for the game, mate.
Mate, it was good. I mean, you know, I've got to put a plug in for Battle Knights.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I said, do your best plug. Jason will be cheering. Cheer, Jace.
Now, you see, prior to this, we've actually played another game, which is part 2 of our game.
I might stick a link down here somewhere.
If he ever uploads it.
Yeah.
Jason.
If he ever uploads, come on, Jason, do it. This video will be up before that video
that's
is.
The only reason I'm saying this is put the video up.
You'll find lots of games like this that John and I also play with our mate Jason on Jason's channel, Battle Knights. And he's just got another channel called Gaming Nights. And he puts a bit more production value in. He's got this new little logo now that dances across the screen and stuff.
Yes, but he doesn't use it.
No. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye.